Well, howdy everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Twice, and it's been far too long since we've jumped back into the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, but time for Ep 8 overall. Or 2-3, depending on your nomenclature. But either way, looks like we are looking
the grand end of the century
forward to the Great Exhibition
of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century.
Why didn't we have this in 2000?
Astonished and delighted
I feel like that would have been pretty cool.
Nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few were aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case. And like the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Sure. It's not how I remember it, but yeah, sure.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people. The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
I wish they had more voice acting so my voice could be saved, but alas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. A man will literally
you built a
be
giant
disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and
Right.
bent to another location. Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
I mean, look, it's either a magic trick or this man is just about to get
In but a few moments,
just eviscerated.
this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible
I think we're
journey
watching
through
a
the
snuff
air
film and I'm not comfortable with it.
to arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you.
You know, you use the smoke to... Oh boy. You're telling me that was a murder? Because it kind of just looks like incompetence. Hilarious incompetence, but still. Anyways. If you missed any of the previous chapters, it's okay. We had a mentor. He died from a puppy. Kitten. We took over in his internship to London. We saved some people. We uncovered a conspiracy surrounding two things. One, the Hound of the Baskerville story that Herlock won't talk about. And two, something surrounding the Great Exhibition that also included the name of four people, which was myself, my mentor who died, my assistant, and then the assassin of the case's first victim, which turned out to be Iris Watson's father, John Watson, Wilson, whatever. It's Dr. Watson. We still don't know anything about that, and we still don't know a lot of things about what's going on here. I'm pretty sure the next two cases may or may not be somewhat considered next to the adjacent / maybe a little intermixed, but I expect all of it will come to head, as always, in case number 10. So I think we got some self-contained, mostly stories and mysteries. And this is a mystery that spanned 2 games, which I think only happened once before in Ace Attorney 1, 2, and 3. And that's debatable, because it was always kind of in the background, but I would say they haven't done it again since then. They may have done it in Ace Attorney Investigations and in Ace Attorney Investigations 2, but it wasn't mystery that like totally spanned both games. There was a few interconnected, but honestly, I think it's the best way to do things. They do duologies really well and trilogies, and I feel like they've kind of lost their step on the other aspect of it because they wanted to make a new trilogy with Apollo Justice, and then everyone was like, no! And then they had to bring back Phoenix Wright. For better or worse. When they can obviously tell a coherent, competent, and entertaining storyline, as we've seen from multiple of their spin-offs. I feel like they don't know where to go with the series next, but I feel like they could just start an entire new one and everyone would be happy still. But yes, welcome back. Hope you have an excellent weekend. Whether you're chilling out, you're watching some GDQ, you're out and about, being a humongous turd like myself, welcome on in. No, he's in a fit of depression once more. I live with you. I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here, you know, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes clearly can be deduced therefore that. Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair literally always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks, again. Yeah, great. Crossed my mind recently, it's been 6 months now. Since I was forbidden from working in the court. Wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned. I assume you were banned at the end of Case 5, because Case 6 happened back in Japan. And then Case 7 was reminiscing about a past case, which took place directly after other past case. And it was important that we remembered it, and I don't know why yet. Because it was essentially someone looking for cash that had been stolen and then hidden away, I think. Then killing anyone slowly that gets into, or trying to scare them, but eventually killing them, that moved into the room that it was probably hidden in. Back to moping. Evening, Pirate. How are you doing? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me. I know. Great exhibition is open. I think he'd be excited. We can all see it together. I want to. Of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Because I'm a great detective, after all. I remember hearing you're working on a case, Hurley. Hmm. 6 months ago, I assume we're going to talk about when we found that the police were trying to cover up a giant conspiracy that we still don't understand completely. Of course, the trials found I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Wait, what did I do? I don't remember doing anything poorly in that. Why, because I uncovered something from the police? Wait, I need to do some research. You got the missus a monitor so you can switch in the living room? Nice. Like, like Nintendo's, yeah. Very nice. I've been thinking of changing my room up a little bit, but I don't know how yet. All I know is I don't have enough storage for all these cool stuff, and I also want a little more space for possible other stream stuff. Great. Nice. Pawnbrokery. What is it? I don't actually... I don't think this is the right trial. I think this is another trial that hasn't happened yet. No, but they said it was the pawnbrokery. I don't remember getting banned. Huh. Something we might have to piece together later. Just playing handheld hurts her neck, and I should play more comfortable for longer. Nice. Very thoughtful. I feel you. I've got a friend who I feel like the only way she plays is that as the monitor gets smaller, the happier she is. Like Game Boy Micro, absolute pure bliss. But then also really likes giant TVs. Anything in between though, awful. But she really likes handheld. But then I'm more of a toss it on the big screen kind of guy. Myself. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I've been dabbling in. I mean, like, obviously it's not the most gorgeous game ever, graphics-wise, but honestly, the way they build the worlds in that game and the vistas they still have, real good. Alright, Lord Strongheart's the main person. Chief Justice. Yeah, I don't remember getting banned for this. I uncovered a conspiracy, but maybe it's just a retcon? Who knows? I don't know. Bayonetta 3, similar deal. But then some indie games, it's like, I don't care if it's handheld or not. Like, Isaac's perfect for handheld, you know, Hades, or Puyo Puyo, yada yada. It's and like a bunch of JRPGs, like turn-based ones in general, like Octopath, Triangle, Dragon Quest, yada yada. Next 6 months, the showcase goes on. How does hot air have to deal with flying? Come on, Renosuke. Get with the program. Learn some science. Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday. Huge explosion. I love to see how bad some of these experiments. Alright, 10-year-old girl with bloodlust. Classic. The sore throat stuck with me all week. I don't know what's going on. We'll get through as much as we can. I don't think it'll be a super long stream today, especially because we're going to do Ace Attorney all next week as well. Lord Von Zeke's and compatriot Corn. Excuse me? No, I'd like to look at the part that talks about how they were attacked. Hello? Hello? Ruffians aim to intimidate a man of justice. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on in this game. I'm real happy they eventually translated it. Now they just need to do Ace Attorney Investigations 2. So people don't have to go through the fan translation of 2. Or the DS. Both of which were a similar barrier in this game, actually. Then all the Ace Attorney games will be translated and released worldwide. As they should be. Sorry, Chelsea's driving in and out of the garage. I think she forgot something twice. Or she's just practicing, or maybe she's going to another driver's school. I don't know. Or she's trying to knock off my side mirror again like she did a few years ago. Please, you mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say, put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you are making deductions. You say that, do you? You? Never mind. To have a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. Yeah, I know about the Reaper of the Bailey. Everyone is punished eventually, whether or not they're declared guilty. Well, that hasn't happened for the author guy, because he got accused twice, and he's off, living his life in Japan, that we know of. Seen the Reaper's retribution at work. The leader among the criminal fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper retaliation like this does occur. Really, capital's a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. Isn't the first time? Well, he's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. Doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. See how right then? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zeeks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition. The clickbait extends into the 17th and 18th century. Alright, well, let's go talk to Strongheart, who I still have deep suspicions of. After the final case in Ace Attorney 1, not big on historic figures of legendary justice. That's a new one. What are you wearing? I changed it to go to the Great Exhibition. You're gonna take me. What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, that sounds fun too. You can take me there then. Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you? Then we'll go to the Great Exhibition. Okay. Well, under threat of death. Let's move. It's a very intimidating but really cool court, like office. I just love the setup. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here, but some things never change. Doesn't even bothering Iris at all, though. Happily reading. Oh, I love this place. I just find so many interesting books here. Of course, just forgetting you've been here before. Time we came here 6 months ago. And Susanoo was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me. How? I haven't even been here before. Trust you in keeping well. Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies. Oh, no, not at all. Like, nothing more than standing around staring into space. Good to know. Because, no, that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. The man who allowed me to start practicing as a lawyer when I arrived as a student. Need only savor the air for a moment in his grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime, and furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future, and the world must embrace it. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it's my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. It's nice to know where I stand. So, wish to consult with me? Of course, you can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I'm not actually saying that out loud. I guess we're going to talk about Von Zeeks first. Oh, guess not. Guess we're going to ask for permission to work again. 6 months ago, my right to work was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of foreign justice system, and I desperately want to have another go. Please permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Oh, that's true. But I didn't die to a kitten, so who's the real winner here? Hmm? Forgot that he wrote in Russian. How did no one realize that? Can't leave it unfinished. He was my best friend. I have to fulfill his calling for him. It's never occurred to you? Perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Well, yeah, actually. I've been trying to figure that out for like 6 months. Hey, we're reinstated. Life is good. And we're gonna get signed onto a case right away. I assume it has something to do with a man that may or may not have been disintegrated. Odie Asman. Osman. Odie Asman. Trying to figure out, I mean, there's not always a pun in the name, but like Odie Osman. Odie Osman. I'm either too stupid for this one or they didn't do it. Okay, I mean, like, that man's last name is Hairbrain. I don't think they're that hard to decipher. I was playing the heckin' spin-off for Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton as a capper for my celebration of recollecting all the Ace Attorney games that I originally sold because I was an idiot kid. And this man who got into a car accident was named Carmine Accidente, and that's not a joke. That was his real name. So on the nose doesn't exist. There's no nose. It's gone entirely. Your grandparents played Got Your Nose with you as a kid. They never returned it. That's how far off the nose this is. Alright, Albert Hairbrain. Let's go meet him. He's charged with incompetence, I assume. I have a bad feeling. But let's check it out. Definitely, but not definitely, because I need to talk to you about other things as well. Connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world, coincide with an exhibition. Next month, largest and most important of them will take place. International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate, so it's imperative we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible, which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly. The future of policing. A lot. Oh no. It all began 15 years ago. I was... And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Oof. Essentially to formally establish the forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. That's wonderful. Yes. That is precisely what it will be. I think Iris read a completely separate book in the time that argument took. I actually drifted off, for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. And let's go present to him the Von Zeke stuff. And figure out what this is about. Wasn't killed, was he? No need for concern. Lord Von Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Hooray! Fortunately, Lord Von Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter, but that's incredible. They were armed with guns. How was he attacked, do we know? It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Von Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I have no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Deplorable situation. Members of our jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. You're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchman certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of... Oh, it was Mr. Odi Osman. The man who died in a big explosion. Why was he so involved with that? Ah, known publicly as an investor. Got it. Understood now. Can I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Why don't you use Lord Von Zieks as a prosecutor? All criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with serious ends outside the courtroom, and fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Von Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here. I have Von Zieks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. This makes sense. How can you explain the way so many have died, if not by someone's hand? Von Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he'll continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Intriguing as always. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. It's quite something. Time stops for no man. Alright, where would I find Lord Von Zieks now? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. Look at this, straight from the horse's mouth. Sounded more like a Scooby-Doo laugh, not an A. Very intriguing. Let's move on. Let's talk to Lord Von Zieks, shall we? Maybe we should have talked to the victim first. Lord Von Zieks' story interests me more. He's obviously... I don't think there's been a single game at this point. Well, Justice for All, really. Well, she was still involved, though. That the prosecutor hasn't been, like, intricately tied to the main mystery of the game. Howdy. That would be Lord Von Zieks' companion, who we, as of yet, do not know. Well, he's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Maybe even worse. Oh, I am... glad to see her well. I am. So, this person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh. That's my apprentice. And he's sitting there of his own free will. Didn't know he had an apprentice. He's very able in combat and requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Just sat down with dinner, made a sausage casserole. Real nice. I had a deep dish pizza. Well, I had 2 pieces of a deep dish pizza. And also an egg and prosciutto sandwich for breakfast. I made one of those. It was not the deep dish pizza. Which, after having it, I've come to the inevitable conclusion it's my least favorite type of the 3 distinctive American City pizzas. With Detroit style, shocker, being my favorite. So we think that the Reaper is a completely separate entity from Von Zeke's, but does still exist. Detroit's deep dish, isn't it? No, Detroit is rectangles. No sauce on top or anything. It's just got a bunch of crispy edges and rectangles. You know how, like, the edges of the brownie is the best part? So you make brownies that are just all edges? Yeah. Detroit-style pizza is the same way. It's, delightful. I got a few places that are my favorite around here. And then obviously New York style is like the normal style, right? Sauce on top, that's just like, it's a fork and knife situation, you know? It's okay. Like all pizza, it's alright, at the very least, but doesn't quite hit the spot the way it usually did. So Mr. McDougal, Mr. McDonald's from the last game. Most unusual cause of death. Yep, he exploded. Let's add that in Michigan. That's good stuff. I'll go preach on Sermon on the Mount, but it'll just be, instead of like salvation and, you know, sin and whatever else, it'll just be like, hey, Detroit style pizza is the best. And that's it. That's my entire message to the disciples. Imagine what a world that would be. He went kablooey. Think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you? Well, no, that does seem a little far-fetched. But there was a man who burned alive in the courtroom about 10 minutes after I found him innocent. So... But also, to be fair, he was a piece of garbage. And it was probably the right thing to do. Because he did kill him. Maybe not burn someone alive, though. Mrs. says you're wrong. She says New York style is the best and the squishy middle part of brownie is the best. Hey, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinions. Even if they're wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna be defending him. Though I don't know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. Albert Hairbrain. New York style's fine. It's classic. I get it. I get it pretty often. And I also understand the squishy middle part of the brownies the best, because, like, I really like chewy cookies, like almost underdone in the middle, because I just, you know, I like playing chicken with my immune system, getting salmonella from undercooked eggs. getting a little close there. Woo! It's the thrill that really does it for me. But I like the edges of the brownies more. Oh, we're at university together. Wow. That's interesting. Our paths rarely cross, but curiously, we got along. Though I've not met him since my university days. No pose. You're prosecuting your friend, eh? Justice doesn't stop for any man. I assume, or something like that. Stop! The author we saved is still alive. He's not dead. He's in Japan. Let's talk about the Reaper. I'd like to know the Reaper's true identity. Does that mean I'm a crowned prosecutor and immortal like any other? I'm no demigod. Still think you might be a vampire, though. Prosecute the vilest wretches, people who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. That's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all. Nor was Gina Lestrade. I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn, but the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. You were attacked because those ruffians believed it to be true. The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say my pseudonym serves a useful purpose? I adopt it gladly and with honor. Interesting. I don't know if we have anything else to say to him. We talked about the attack. Can I cough examine the oh no, I've done something on accident. Cool model though. Kinda looks like that man's dead there though. Using it as an investigative aid. I definitely don't build Legos and minifigs. Back to the racism. Anyways, howdy there. I get the feeling you're an integral part to the central... There are bats in your office? Are you kidding me? With the aesthetics? God. That's too much. Okay, well, can we talk about the bats that exist? Blah! They were bats. Wah! Yeah, I don't think there's any actual evidence here. So let's go talk to Mr. Hairbrain, shall we? We might get something that we need to present to the Reaper, so. Because at some point we need access to the crime scene. We need some clues! Or some Scooby snacks. One of the two. Rainus game. Nara, defense lawyer. A lawyer, you say? Well, would you be here about the experiment? You gonna defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration. That demonstration was... That magnificent demonstration was out and out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. That was probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while, too. Okay. So what happened? Because I think you killed someone. Papers calling it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he? Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure. But at the same time, it was a great success. You lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. This man was spontaneously disassembled. Till then, everything wasn't going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Asmon in fact perished. Yeah, I can't deny that part was a failure. So you're saying the large explosion that killed Mr. Asmon was an accident, correct? Well, the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once. But murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. So I don't believe that, but I believe you. If it really was an accident, the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody. Newly established here in Britain. Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Okay. If it says a murder, they'll say the machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. They'll examine it in detail to find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. The hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative. This whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. Somehow this didn't actually help me figure out what the heck happened. In short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes, or rather, no. The devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. If you use a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds, beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. It's my idea, you see. It's my amazing hypothesis. That's unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine it. Dare to dream. I don't want you to ever do that pose in the courtroom because you will be arrested on suspicion of being Dr. Frankenstein. Possibilities are endless. Our whole vast planet will be in reach. I don't really see it like that. I mean, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk. That's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean? Oops. Got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the looks of it. Point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works, but without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment. So you had an investor pay for this. Okay. Progress, progress. Visited me in my laboratory a year ago now, back in Germany. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. I was prepared to fund a practical demonstration for presentation at the Great Exhibition. If that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. He provided you with an engineer, huh? I want to know about that engineer. Maybe we can talk about that. Interesting. Okay. I don't know where to go next, actually. I mean, there's no more things to present. Except for that. That's science, I suppose. Oof. Heck if I know. I don't know. Let's see if anything pops up here first. Mustache. I gotta shave my beard a little bit. Well, trim it, trim it. I don't want to scare people. It's still winter. I want to keep it. It's cold. Wow, it's though time stood still here since Susie went back to Japan, aka in between the first and the second game. Nothing there. Is Sholmes back? Nope. Chief Justice has got to be gone. So I guess it's talking to the prosecutor some more? I didn't present this to you, so let's see. Something pops up there. No idea it had been photographed. It was careless of me. I'm sure the police have already apprehended every last one of them, but there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. This very mysterious figure. Aha! We'll take that. Go back to the prosecutor. Blah blah blah. He's currently compiling a report from last night's attack. Wearing some kind of mask? Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face or his identity. What? What kind of nonsense is this? There's a good reason for his actions. Okay. If you say so. I don't like his eyes. Collate all the briefs. God, it's like Von Zeke's Jr. Well, that was weird. Didn't feel like our first encounter. Who have we met before? Who have we met before? Says nothing to anyone outside this office. Strongheart has forbidden it. Well, the only thing I can think of, and it's a long shot, is that man or woman is related to our mentor who passed away. There was a mission that he needed to complete. We still don't know almost anything about it. Strongheart brought it up before we met this apprentice. That's all I can think of. A family member, brother, sister, something like that. Japanese man. Is he faring well? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop and the mustache and the jitters. Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean? I'm sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Bruno. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. Maybe we can end our discussion there, don't you? It's weird. I think he believes in the Reaper, too. Who's worried that would happen? Quiz him about the relationship with... Didn't I already do that? Oh, no. To question him about the relationship with Von Zieks. Yeah. Haha. Understand Lord Von Zieks' friend here is from your university day. Am I not going to get to investigate what the heck happened here? Is my first exposure going to again be in the court? Because that stresses me out. It's unassuming, gentlemanly, all-around nice fellow, really. Sorry, I think you misheard me. Talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak Von Zieks. Talking about a leading question. As I said, unassuming, extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he's a little darling of the Van Zieks family. His great aristocratic origins. It's a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. Then there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. I assume that changed him to be racist. Because, that seems to be his thing. That and throwing his boots around. Alright. Just heard all about the Reaper. I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Von Zieks will be the prosecutor tomorrow. Who could someone give me to the actual place to investigate? Explosion was an accident. No intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct? Whew. Yes, that man definitely died, though. Well, now this man's sad. Afraid I don't know much about science. I don't know much about your newfangled way of thinking, but I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I live in Germany after I graduated and learned something very important. I was wondering if they were ever going to bring up Von Karma, because Von Karmas are from Germany. They have like a ancestor of Manfred or something from the original. But that may be too far-fetched. Alright, finally gonna go investigate. So we're not going to be flying completely blind, just mostly blind into a jury that will, of course, somehow include 4 people that were actually at the exhibition, 1 person that was the murderer, or has immense expertise in teleportation, and a 6th person who saves us by believing in us. That's usually how it goes. They all have almost all have some sort of expertise that is somehow imminently related to the case. A lot of people, aren't there? This one trodden on 3 times, too. Underneath the public experimentation stage when the explosion happened yesterday. Oh. Kinda looks like he did get beamed to the Crystal Tower. Are you gonna tell me the teleportation was real? Because... yeah, I guess that's fine. There's spirit mediums and stuff, and learning, hearing from emotions, and, like, armpit sweating that you're lying in... But that's 100 years from now. Oh, whatever. It's fine. And is Gina an investigator now? Also, how is Gregson not in prison? Worst X-Men power, detecting sweat stains, and yet it is a complete thing that happens in Apollo Justice. It's not just sweat stains, it's like little fidgeting, but that one's the weirdest one for me. That one I was searching for like 20 minutes, like using the ring to like look around on everything. Be like, okay, so this is probably the one where he's lying. You know, usually you'd see like a twinge of the eye, or like a wringing of the hands, or like pulling on the hair, or like unnatural sweating, or biting their lip. No, it was like underarm sweat that would just come in every once in a while like a torrent. I guess it's only been 6 months. I don't know how she'd be an inspector, but I guess Gregson got pardoned. See, you're here. Here you are. You here. Your ladyship. How are you, your ladyship? I hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? Not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue. Unbelievable. Go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you. Tobias Gregson, inspector at Scotland Yard. Till recently he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action. Actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and for that reason he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be. Lots of sunshine. Yeah, I'm acting for the defense. Dear me, that's a situation, is it? Is it really that troubling? Measly 5 bob? That all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? Stand to carry a bit more cop around your poppets. Poppets. I'm trying to think of a worse X-Men power than that. I mean, Cyclops is cool, but like also constant laser beams. I don't know, Toad always seems like I'm just miserable. Just looks like a miserable son of a gun all the time. Jill Strahd, pickpocket. But what does she do now? She's not even working hard. So he was suspended for the case, but why? Because I was threatening to unleash a conspiracy of the British government? I mean, honestly, yeah, that seems about right. Want a bag of chips rammed down my throat? Yeah. Half a year's a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. Oh, no, I was right. You have to call me what everyone else does. Inspector Lestrade. Oh my god. They really did. Inspector Port isn't entirely accurate. No one calls her that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating's off the cards for all of us. What's that supposed to mean? I guess you haven't been unsuspended, have you, Gregson? This raises a lot of questions. Let's answer them. But not on the power. You'd probably die walking through a college campus with that power. Oof, ain't that the truth? I don't know, just give me like a good old Wolverine power. Or Nightcrawler. Or Quicksilver. Or Magneto without all the, like, purging of the non-mutants part. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Does it? Always thought that Nightcrawler was the best. He's my personal fave. He's cool shit. I'm really excited for the continuation of the X-Men cartoon next year. Or is it this year? 97. Whatever. Coming soon. Excited for it. Used to watch a lot. The fights between Sabretooth and Wolvie. The Sentinels, all that good stuff. These Future Past still pretty good. Need to catch up on more, like, mutant stories, though. Not as well versed in X-Men as I am in some of the others. I always find myself, like, on the edge of deep comic book fandom, where it's like, I know a ton of stories about, like, Spider-Man, Batman, so, like, I'm invested, but then they'll pull out, like, the big series, like Secret Wars and Darkest Night, etc., you know, and, like, the anti-life equation and all that. I'm just... too much. Just watch Justice League Unlimited for, like, the billionth time. Or Young Justice. That's enough for me. I always feel like I should do more. Some Hawkeye, know a decent amount of Hawkeye. Hellboy, which isn't related to any of those. Thanks, Dark Horse. Long and short of it is, if you got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Right then, Inspector. Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. Not dead. I think I told you before, isn't it? I'm just kind of like him upstairs, so who knows what I'm like on the inside. I ain't really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong might be stretching a point. Natsume's fine, isn't he? Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. Okay. Well, I still really need to know about the case. Just went pop. Ain't seen a better experiment here yet. Yeah, of course, boss in charge here, ain't he? Keeping everything running smooth. So all I have to say is I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. Oh, you're so much. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. I gotta put the boss in this place already, right, Iris? You can have no trouble at all. Well, it's settled. When do I start? No, no, no. You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris. You are 10 years old. If it exploded so spectacularly, how can Bunny Brain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success in a way. Okay. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. Well, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and that whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the Crystal Tower over there. I think it just rocketed him through the Crystal Tower, looking from the impact. So I'm not sure we can count that. Yeah, I don't believe it either. I'll get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. I'll tell you what, you can have this plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard. Okay. Somehow that'll be important. Oh no. Okay, pressing A a bunch, pressing A a bunch, pressing A a bunch. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together. It's fine. Okay, there we go. All good. Yeah. Grexy ran off without explaining himself. Oh, right, that. Well, the boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine that blew up yesterday. That's not fair. We're presenting the defendant. Well, in that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations? Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither. The boss call them again? The forensic investigation team, I think? Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay finger on the scene. But funny, isn't it? Even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. I have gander on the quiet, though, but the boss caught me at it. Probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you? Not bleeding fair. Giving it as much earful back as I remember it. Yeah, well. It's almost chips that make him stubborn. You can say something to him. Go on, see if we can get through to him. Well, we can try, because otherwise I am so lost. A piece of cloth. Very thick and stiff. Like canvas. Okay, so something from a balloon, then? Interesting. What looks like a heckin' gigantic crossbow? Hid? If that's hidden, they were bad at hide and seek as a kid. Yep, still looks like a crossbow. You know, pocketing evidence. This is how legal systems work. You can pocket evidence to use in a court case later. It's all fine. and very legal and cool. Scatterdash and burnt embers. Alright, well, let's scoot on up, shall we? Look at that. Enhance. That's where the Cove ended up after instant kinesis, or whatever they call it. Dead, of course. Still palm experimental success, huh? What was the scaffold there for? After the end. So that wasn't there before. I think they just... I think they just shot him through that. Oh no. Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition, keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. Incredible though, isn't it? I mean, can the victim really bridge that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? I don't know. Do I just have to examine the exhibition to send me up to the exhibition sign? Maybe? Someone used a crossbow to shoot down a... I don't know how the hot air balloon has anything to deal with it. The darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. That was unhelpful in telling me about what I'm supposed to be doing here. Observation Deck, Art Gallery, Zoo, and a museum. Where's the heckin' zoo? It better be on the first floor. Crystal glass shout. Boo. Boo! Everyone's taking to the skies to look at the disaster area, but now there's a 3-hour queue in the balloon area. Londoners must be very patient people. They queue. Anything else? Anything else? No. What does this look like? Yeah, I don't think the balloons are there for no reason whatsoever. Anything? I don't think. I didn't think so. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. So you're not letting me there. Maybe back to the prison? Nope, he's gone. Prosecutor office? Spookily just being over there. I don't really want to be there anymore. It scares me. Nope, nothing there. Nothing new here. You told me to go talk to him, and I can't move up to him. Or is he not talking to me? He's just standing there. Okay, not talking. Cool. And they're gone. Okay, a little confused as to what I should be doing right now. Unless it's this. No, you stole that too. I don't really know what else there is to see around here. And this badge is proof I'm a detective. Okay, this has been very good as always. Oh, I had to click on the steps instead? Oh my gosh. Just get me up there already. This sure is a mess. He's always doing experiments that end with a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry. That might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs. One time he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. Wish you'd been there to see it. It's hard to get too excited about that, given I live on the roof. Well, anyway, enough about that. Time to investigate. Gregson's over there. Seems to be deep in thought about something. Whilst eyeing up the machine carefully. Well, just looks confused to me. That's probably more accurate. Twice, are you hyped for the new Fire Emblem? I'm as hyped as I will allow myself to be for a... for a new game. Which, in this case, is cautiously optimistic. I still have Fire Emblem Fates in the back of my mind. As, like, a big kick in the butt for... Fire Emblem fans. Oh. Excuse me. Because that story was bad. And it's not like they're always excellent storylines, but... Whew. So I'm still a little cautious, but... The only thing I'm really cautious about is, besides the general... is the fact that the main character's hair looks like toothpaste. Other than that, I'm pretty excited. I've kept my knowledge of the previews to a minimum. I'm not sure what I'll feel about like the engage mechanic, because it feels a bit reliant on old games. But if this is like a kind of a 20th, 30th year in it, it's gotta be like 30 years, right? 30th anniversary celebration type of game, so they use like characters from each of the other games. I get it, and I won't be upset about it. I think they cut down on some of the social aspects, but I kind of liked them in Three Houses. It was kind of vibed with me. You know, people didn't like wandering around too much, but you could always just look at the map and see which ones you wanted to talk to. As long as the tactics are strong, I'm always going to be excited to play a new Fire Emblem game. So I am I'm excited to see the stupid anime nonsense that I'm sure will interact with this game, considering its aesthetics and general design, and chuckle at it. And I'm excited to rip apart the tactics themselves and figure out new stuff. But I like the progression in Three Houses because it, you know, you had like set paths you could put people on, but adapting to whatever happens is fine too. A lot of the old Fire Emblem games are like that. Honestly, the only thing I hope is that as long as this game's good, the next game they do is a remake of one of the 3 unreleased in the West games. Or is there 4 unreleased games? I think there's 3 or 4. Anyways, the 3 big ones are Thracia 776, Genealogy of the Holy War, and Roy, so Binding Blade. I just want those 3. And they've been working on it because they did heckin' Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valencia. That was sick. I just want the whole series to be accessible. Similarly to how I feel about this series. Glug 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 glug. That was a lot of words to say. In general, yes. I'm like a 7.5 out of 10 on the hypometer. To put that in perspective, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 would be Far Cry 7, and 10 would be Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. I don't know if that was helpful at all. But I'm not allowed to touch anything up here, sunshine. It's the blasted Sidasi. It's driving me batty. I thought it said potty, though. Maybe it was batty. How about you? Or are you just excited to watch? We'll definitely play it on whatever the hardest mode is, unless that hardest mode is crushing. We'll play it on hard, because, I mean, we always do. Or is it I think the highest difficulty is called Maddening. I'm not going to play on Maddening, because it will make me mad. And I just don't think you should do that. Cue flashback to when I put the hardest mode on God of War Ragnarok, but especially for a tactics game, I feel like you need to know what you're going into and like what the best build for people would be for the hardest difficulty. So we do as hard as I think will be comfortable for us to both enjoy the tactics and still have to engage deeply with the system. God of War Ragnarok's hardest difficulty is just everything hits harder. And we can deal with that. We did. We beat the game with it, eventually. Probably took 5 hours longer than it should have if we were on the normal difficulty. But I did do the super bosses after, and let me tell you, I had a way easier time than my friend did. And I consider him of an equal skill to me. So I think I was hardened, molded, and cast in stone by that hardest difficulty. the most unusual of the experiments, carrying out something so dangerous, so many spectators present. Well, the government's doing everything it can to promote new technology and science at the moment. I'm more worried about being ahead of the game than the odd spot of public safety infringements. They can be the first to develop some new technology. It makes Britain more powerful in the future. Though I will say, for Fates, I mean, the story and the characters were pretty blech. And I'm not a huge fan of, like, the whole, this is your kid from the future. Pair up all your characters to get them married and have stronger kids. I think Genealogy, the Holy War, does that, just based on its name. So maybe I'll have to get used to it. Anyways, the tactics themselves in Conquest were immaculate. I really enjoyed the different pairing up systems and that sort of thing. But maybe I just didn't engage fully with it because of the story or what. And don't get me started on how there's a true ending third version that you could only play like after you bought both. Revelations. I'm not asking for a world beater of a story here. I can go with some anime nonsense. And we already know multiple members of our family will die. That's just how it works. Or the other main characters. The Sidisi forbids it. Only people with permission to investigate are some brand new department at the yard. The Fit, it's called. Any old fool can see the heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with just because it says scientific equipment with the paperwork. We can't do a flaming thing about it. It's very head up, isn't it? It's the Sidisi. Passed especially for this grand exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas to some suits in the civil service. It gets rubber stamped, guarantee of rights to remain the maintain invention's confidentiality. Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. A good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that. Still got you in trouble because you were trying to get my people convicted to cover up the conspiracy, but sure. It'd be fun to you. A member of the force has to be present for every single demonstration. Can you imagine? Hang science. That's what I say. Well, I don't think so. It sounds like my dream job. You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly. Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. They're all after it. Oh, maybe I can see your point. Still talking, man. Professor Hairbrain lives and works in Germany conducting his research. That's right, came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the research grants. I don't think so. You've been funded. Van Zinksman's prosecution then has the accused. The professor's fate is sealed because the Reaper will get him one way or another. I don't think so. Blimey, man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head of his. Talking to Van Zieks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that? I didn't think we were buddy-buddy enough to have small talk, but okay. Yeah, right. Glad to hear it. Still, Reaper, huh? How long is that business gonna keep up, I wonder? There's another of the Reaper's victims, so I heard. Well, Zeke's is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Well, the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation. Conclusion we've reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. How do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if no one killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery, after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Said that at university he was a totally different person, easygoing and kind. So that if they both graduated, something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Sure. Very helpful. I don't know if I can actually really see anything here anyways. Oh wait, no, there might be something there. There's like a bow tied to that. Make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself here. Don't touch a thing. I'm just looking around. I'm just looking with my eyeballs. Hey. It's a screwdriver that may have blood on it. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything. Yeah, I understand. Sorry. Only touched it a teeny bit. Very curious about the screwdriver. Really very, very curious. Wow. Cracked like an egg. I'm afraid I can't let you have it. But Runo found it first. I assure you'll investigate it thoroughly. Who's gone off with it? Well, I can go look for real. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson's going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now. Oh, no, he's back. Right. You done here, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Isn't it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. That lot are here now. The fit. Giving me fits. Where does he keep the teacups? And the saucer with the teacup. Alright, no more investigation today? Yeah, we'll talk with Herlock. Madam, 2 spells? It's the most popular attraction in London. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. That's where Hurley is. Stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Let's do it. Oh, it's Madame Tussauds. Yeah, I should have realized that already. That looks a lot like one of the main villain from, well, one of the main villains from the spin-off. Kind of. Maybe not. No. I think that's too on the nose. Guillotines, ruthless murders. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. They're all wax models. Amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked? Wax models? Yeah. I read about dead bodies in wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Oh no, this man's seen House of Wax. This poor soul. Adipocere doesn't form readily, you know. Ah! I just remembered something else I read. In another magazine about strange phenomena, there was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. All the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas. They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. There's no way anyone can make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Oh no. I must be seeing things. Oh, interesting. I would like to talk to this hand, please. Is it a wax arm or a real one? Let's find out. Nope, we're not finding out. There's something truly terrifying behind it. It's the special exhibit, England's most notorious killers. Pay more to be even more terrified? Let me think about that for a moment. It's only a suggestion. Models are so well made I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human. Or maybe all the exhibits are real people, and when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about. What about this way? Is this some infamous murderer? Yes, called Jane the Ripper. All our victims were young women. I knew it. Can tell by the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer. Well, yes. Ah! Worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore. Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub. Sorry, I don't think it's significant. I still think it has to be there for a reason. Alright. Oh look, you can kick this early, it doesn't move a muscle. There are beads of sweat on the face. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look. A great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing. Take exception to recoiling in such manners. You've seen something truly important. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret from Mr. Naruhodo. Wait, what do you mean? Could you not exercise a little more restraint? I know something needs to ask you. A question. Thought you'd be getting bored too, so here we are. Well, I can't deny your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that, and my great brain, upon which all my success had been built, would have turned to wax. Goodness, we arrived in time. Indeed. In many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. Something with the Wax Museum? And it is related? How? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. You gonna actually talk to me? Spells came to London from France 3 years ago. Renowned during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. Oh. Gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expression of the faces of the condemned. Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses, right there at the site of the executions. It's just several legends about the Spells family. If there's any truth to it, I couldn't say. Sorry, I'm just looking at Madame Tussauds. I can't speak French. Okay, I mean, they didn't make them from the corpses, probably. But, she definitely made wax sculptures during the French Revolution, which is wild to me. Huh. Learn something new every day. The House of Horrors. Yep. The Chamber of Horrors. Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition, but people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals after their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows, so they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Poor taste. My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So, exhibits here are, yeah, their own portrayals of real events that actually took place. Anyway, advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Back to being a waxwork. Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Von Zeeks? Our friend Mr. Reaper. How'd you find him? Well, I trust. And then I filled him in. Clammed up. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable greetings. You're appreciating my museum? Sorry, have we... My apologies. I'm Esmeralda to Spells. This is my Museum of Waxwork. You're the Madam to Spells? Yes, sir. Only 26 years young, I might add. That's significant, somehow? I'm a madam in name only. Adds a certain je ne sais quoi. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks, or rather, one waxwork in particular. You, Mr. Sholmes, then. Led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble. Honestly, I think janky animations just make it funnier. Yeah, sure. Let's add stuff to our plate. Also, why do you have him being a waxwork temporarily? What's the situation with that over there? He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal. Sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective. He's a great detective, actually. He's very specific about it. Yeah, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. Sadly, we're unable to agree terms. Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. 500 pounds. I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. Oh, or words to that effect. I may have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch. He was very insistent. I have a 50-shilling problem. That must be resolved by the morning. Or words to that effect. It's pawnbroker, that's what it is. Must have something to redeem. Consulting detective work not going so well. Okay. Well, I don't really care about the waxworks too much right now, but I want to know what's going on here. Who suggested such a thing to you? Well, it was... And he's gone. No, he's disappeared. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. The exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down? My dear madam, dispels. Save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. So ideas about your current problem was thrown to the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why not? Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ from your 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer, no, I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Well, let's see what's going on here. Before I engage my analytical process, I must ask you to clarify something. What is behind the curtain? That's the Dispel special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. Special killer, then, I presume. Be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder. Absolutely no. Nothing amiss by it. Nothing amiss at all, man. There's a hand. You see that? It's ominous and protruding. Only a soup con. Didn't take French. Didn't take French. Number 139? Waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. It does strike one, however. There's the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. Did someone use a wax dummy to, like, swap the wax dummy in, melt it down? He was already over, but you saw him walk. How would you swap? The goobers would have to be in on it, like, all along. Oh, I don't know. He's a perfectly ordinary little gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. Is he just dead? A sizable business transaction has been taking place in the special exhibit. And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. Don't understand. I don't either. I'm very lost. Let's do our deduction and figure it out. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some £200. That's all my own money. Was this large sum of money revealed? Not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem. The answer lies where your eyes now fall. Significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Waxwork for sale? Business at hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer for the sum of £200. Now, let us explore the next curiosity which we are presented. Who is this portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? Here the man has suffered a severe shock, cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds! It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively. Only when it came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extraordinary amount he was paying. Money was no longer in his hands. Just dead. Yes, killer in the special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Waxwork's fate sold for cash. Waxwork location. Question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let's consider that problem for a moment. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. Such is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. Know him well. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity and received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But next we turn our attention to the old man sat before him, with a particularly unsightly visage. When watching closely, he hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork. But your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. Kind of look like he's got a body tag on him. The price tag. Oh, £3. A tragically low price, you might say, though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks. Yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. Sort of like behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam? I do not. Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. Right. Okay. I think we got our work cut out for us on this one. Because, woof! It's pretty bad. I see I've stunned you all into silence. You have, Hurley. You have. He's the particularly ruthless murderer? Killer policeman, Honorable. A mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital late last year. Police rushed to the scene every time only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether. Turned out the culprit was a policeman himself. Senior officer by the name Honorable. So you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be? Indeed. Particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. Is £200 a lot of money for a wax model? It'd be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective. Yep. Let's fix this. Course correction. I mean, I thought it was sold for cash, honestly. I figured these were just all wax people. She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything. For that much money, I would, but it sounds like that makes me a bad person. 200 pounds, different significance. Oh. Dear Madam, to spells, we've taken the prisoner from this room, and the price for his safe return is 200 pounds. Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd, which is tomorrow. Okay.
Take that!
I go in. Significance 200 pounds revealed by that ransom note. You're really gonna pay 200 pounds to get back one of your wax figures? Model of special importance. And I just assume this man is a wax figure, because I think his eyes are open. Or it's a dead body. Does that leave us in terms of who this man, the waxwork, was kidnapped? We could just ask him. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process. Stop ruining the gameplay! There's little doubt he suffered a shock, that much seems clear, but in that case, what's Madame Tuspel's trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. That's a hair. That's a hair braid. That looks like a... Are you sure that's the hand of Madam? It doesn't look like the hand of Madam. Yes, it must be. This is the left hand as well, though. Boah! Don't say such creepy things. And it's very stiff. In fact, it's really... Stop poking it. Okay. I guess it's this.
Take that!
Did she smack the guy with the hand? So it's a real dude that you just knocked out. Okay. It is in fact a left. Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage. Yep. Taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms. I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we have to revisit this. Kidnapped. And I'm gonna just guess it's not the two wax or real people over there. Not the neckerchief. We always go below the waist here. That's where the most interesting bits usually are. So let's see where his hand's going. Or he doesn't have an arm. Okay. Never mind. We figured it.
Take that!
No such boneless human walks this earth. Of that I can assure you. I'm quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. Simply had to make a model of the man. Naturally, what other explanation could there be? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with particularly unsightly visage. So I'm assuming this man is a real, just sleeping security guard. Of course, he's wearing a yellow handkerchief, after all. I don't think it was kidnapped. Okay. It's not the yellow handkerchief.
Take that!
Alright, this may be the most obvious deduction we've done in 8 cases so far. Even the most realistic waxworks don't exhibit a twitch. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives, then. There you have. Well, madam, dispose. Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place. He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep. Then, what's this tag showing up? It's probably just a scarf. As you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening, as you deduced from the very beginning, Detective. So, we don't know where the wax statue is, but that man was trying to steal an arm for reasons unknown? This poor guy. Well, I guess not poor. I mean, he looks rich and just trying to steal an arm. Still a mystery. Alright. So they used a wax double, but I don't know how they would have swapped it so quickly. Unless there was a lot more smoke than people thought. Sometimes they drop in for a short time on the way back from the pub. I welcome them all, but if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Great Deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe. I would marry her. That's ease. That would have been my great deduction personally. Much detail as possible, if you please. As you wish. Is it the big witch hat? Why did I click on the waxworks instead of the stolen waxworks? There's no need. Alas. Third generation, it's 19... Yeah, no, actually, that kind of fits. Like, kinda. For going from the original French Revolution to swords. Most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of real people on which they are mocked, in the hours immediately following their executions. That's the secret to the extraordinary life-likeness. That sounds terrifying. All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. Bought a lamp. Was it the lamp you've been searching for a long time? Because I know we couldn't find any such lamp before. Or we found really expensive lamps at that furniture store. And nothing at the world market. We'll see. Fair. Gotta find a place to put it, but you liked it enough to buy it. I get that. I gotta do something about this room. Just don't know what yet. One day I'll figure it out. This room is the only one museum with such a macabre theme. I hope you'll explore it. Models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope. Alright. Who stole it and why? I guess you probably don't know who stole it. But I think I know, in general, who stole it. But in that case, why would they pin it on the... You know what? No, I don't get it still. I'm very confused as to who would have murdered this person. Why won't the Switch marry me? You know? I mean, have you tried buying the game and asking her yourself? I don't want to be a proxy here. Or buying Guilty Gear Strive. There's Eno in that. That's another witch. The Professor. The Professor. Circle is complete. This case happened around the time I was born, didn't it? Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. And exactly the time that Barak von Zieks graduated from university, in fact. That changed Mr. Reaper's life. As you've surmised, it was the Professor. Yes. Who was this Professor? Tell me. Please. It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death. Now he's immortalized here, relax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Of course, he happens to be absent at present, down to the abduction. But how is this related to von Zieks? Was it his professor? Let's first understand why it is that the professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest. Those murdered by the professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy, members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves throughout the country's administration. It was the 5th victim that led to the professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of von Zieks. Clint von Zieks. With a K. You can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Baron pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. Wow, I had no idea Lord von Zieks had such a tragic past. Well, afraid that's all I can say. Time to become a temporary wax statue again. None of the predicted scenarios I've been none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. Delighted to see you, Barak. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in a prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow the court will decide. Yes, I have a young Easter man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident. A terrible accident. Assures me he can prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're gonna be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Why are you talking to him from... Yes, I am. Oh, you have my best interest at heart. Friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else. Till tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. Yikes. That was a heck of a long investigation section. Usually we get 2 of these, but somehow I don't think so. Alright, well, it's a good place to end, but we'll be back in just a couple of days to finish off the return of the great departed soul. Finish off. I don't know if we will, but I need some dinner, and I am a little tired, and my throat still hurts. So this was just us getting back into the swing of doing some weekend streams. So glad you enjoyed it. If you'd like to leave a follow, we'll be back all next week with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Case 3 and 4, and maybe even 5 if we get to it. And then we'll probably transition back to the weekend, because we'll be doing Fire Emblem on Friday, and Fire Emblem will be our regular stream until we're finished with that. But this will catch us up a lot closer to finishing this duology, and then we'll be able to start a new poll for a new weekend stream. So hope you look forward to that. Have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it as always, and have a good night. Toodles.